Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, my sister Demi.
What's up?
And my brother Derek.
What's up?
And this week, you guys, we are talking about the international man of mystery himself, Austin Powers. Oh, behave.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
So, I knew y'all were gonna do that.
Yeah. Oh, but you can't not do it.
You
I was
cannot
just
do
hoping
it.
that you wouldn't.
No, you cannot do it.
How could you not do it?
Yes.
How could anyone have any conversation about Austin Powers and not do any of the taglines?
You gotta do the taglines.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure people who have seen this movie that clicked on this episode and heard that it was Austin Powers said it to themselves.
I would hope not, because when this movie came out, all you got for a very, very long time was people quoting this movie.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true. A lot of quotes from this movie.
Just a lot.
Yeah.
Too much. Like it's funny, but then when the whole world is quoting this movie,
Yeah.
it just
And it makes very perfect gifs too.
yeah. Just please stop. That's just all I'm saying.
All right. Oh, we get a pass since we're talking about the movie.
Okay.
I don't go around quoting Austin Powers on a regular basis.
Yeah,
Not
not
anymore.
Will you though for the next week?
I'm going to
Yes.
say no, because I'm going to start off the conversation by commenting, while I was younger, I thought this movie was hilarious. At my ripe age of something right now, not as much. There were scenes where I did laugh out loud, but I was like, I remember this being funnier than it was, and at some points I was just like, okay, yeah, I get the joke, but you can move on.
I agree. So here's the thing: watching it, I was just like, man, this movie is not rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: when I was doing my research for the movie and I was seeing clips, I would laugh at the clips. So it's like seeing the whole movie from beginning to end. I was just like, okay, this is not funny.
So it's good out of context.
I think it's good out of context.
Okay.
Like honestly, it's like watching the clip. Even though I had just watched the movie, the clip I thought was funny.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But even though I seen that same scene in the movie, I was just like,
Mhm.
yeah. But no, I agree with you. I think it might be good the first time you see it.
I
I can
think
see that because it's unexpected.
Right.
I think it's good the first time you see it in the early 2000s.
No, I don't think it matters because to me the like maybe the references are for the younger people who are unfamiliar with the original Bond movies, which if you don't know, this movie parodies a lot of that.
Yeah.
That I think some of the jokes you won't get maybe.
Mhm.
But it
Oh,
can
like
still
why
be
the
funny.
Korean dude's name? What did he name him?
Random task.
Oh, Random
Random
Task. Because in the James Bond movie, you had the dude with the hat who Odd Job. Yeah.
Yeah. And he threw a shoe instead of
Who
his
throws a
hat.
shoe?
He was like, "Who throws a shoe?"
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So like even in out of context, that's funny.
Yeah,
right.
So I think like it's funnier if you're like, oh hey, they're making fun of James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that even if you never seen those movies, it would still be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are parts that are still funny, like place them on the slow moving, easy to escape mechanism.
I can just go in my room and get my gun. We can shoot him right now.
So you just don't get it.
You
do
just don't get it, do you?
Yeah. So, yeah, I did feel that through this movie. Actually, you mentioned it, like, oh, let's watch this movie.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I don't feel like watching Austin Powers.
Yeah.
But like I said, there were parts of the movie that still got an audible laugh out of me. So,
Yeah.
it still hits its points. It's still a good parody, I think, of spy movies.
Yeah.
Excellent. We don't have any of those. Are there any good parody movies actually
I
lately?
don't think it's a thing anymore. Like in the
No,
late
it's
90s, early 2000s,
early
we got
2000s.
A lot
ton
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
were also
Scary
a lot of
Movie
them was
and-
directed by the Wayans too, though.
Yeah, but even besides that, because you had what was that guy's name? Leslie something, I think.
Oh, in the 90s.
What was
Yeah.
it? Bowfinger? That was a parody.
Yeah. Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, even before then though, with Not a British dude.
They played Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forget his name. But yeah, he did parodies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot too, and also like there's also there was this movie like okay, obviously the Bond movies, but there was also like British comedies that it was also parodying too. And I think one
Yeah.
of them was like something called Flint or In Like Flint. I think it's
Okay.
called In Like Flint. I think it's like a British parody movie that this one was kind of inspired by also.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I mean yeah, that is the thing that.
And
just
even in the
goes
movie, they
anywhere.
had the one scene where they were shouting BBC,
Mhm.
and I was like, it instantly made me think of the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about how this movie starts on with a full-on Bollywood dance scene.
Yes.
I liked it.
I did too, though. I'm like, yeah. And everybody's dancing. I'm like, it's good. Get it, Mike Myers. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It instantly it made me think of when Ludacris sampled it. It made me think of that song. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty good. But the premise behind the story is they're from the late 60s. Him and Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil freezes himself to escape to the future, and so Austin Powers volunteers to be cryogenically frozen so that if Dr. Evil should come back, he can stop him. Which I'm like, do we really need to?
Right.
Do we really need to? With
You
Dr.
didn't
Evil?
really need to.
No, I was going to bring that up in my nitpicks, so maybe we'll save it. But this was not something that needed to happen.
No. Well, that's like Joker crying, freezing himself, and then Batman says, "Yeah, I will too. So if he comes back, thaw me out as well."
Even at that point, at least Joker's a bit more dangerous. Dr.
Right,
Evil.
Dr. Evil
I mean,
is-
yeah,
He's not very good at his job.
yeah. But I was just like, no hero was gonna do that though.
I mean, no, no, you
I
can't do that.
I was like, I don't think they do that. I think they just be more
It's like
happy that the
he's
person
a
is
spy.
no longer
There
there.
weren't any other villains.
Right. That's my first thought.
But he's not a very good spy because everyone knew who he was.
That's well, the same thing with James Bond. That is the parody. I thought that because everyone, all the
Yeah,
ladies
it's
are
like that
chasing
with
him.
James
Austin
Bond, too.
Powers, and I'm like, wait, and then I'm
but
like,
this is
yeah,
more
it's the same
because
with
they
James
were
Bond.
chasing him down the street,
Yeah.
yelling his name.
But when he was Mr. Morris, they didn't know that he was Austin Powers.
Until okay, we're skipping ahead, but a lot of found out who he was by opening his business card holder
Right.
that said Austin Powers. on it.
Right. Like, why does James Bond have business cards?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Like,
And what is going to say on there? International spy?
right. Like, you're undercover right now.
Yeah.
Why do you have a business card?
Why do you have business cards? And if you do have business cards, why would you bring them on your undercover assignment?
Right.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So there's some good parts where they're making fun of the secret agent stuff. Him being unfrozen is one of those scenes that like when I was younger I probably found funny. But now I was like okay.
Yeah, I agree. It went on for too long.
Yeah, it went on for
I
too
thought
long.
It went on for too long.
Apparently Derek thought it was
I thought it
hilarious.
was hilarious.
And then I
Especially
thought,
when he kept on saying, "Come."
I know. It was too long.
it was too long. And then I thought it's like how many of these parody movies are gonna do that joke because Scary Movie 4
Oh, yeah.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Scary Movie 4 did come after this, so.
Yeah. Well, it ripped off of it, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, that to me that was one of the scenes where I'm like, okay. But it was interesting is like, okay, what would a person from the 60s, how would they feel? Funny in the 90s, how would they feel? Even more so today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that one of the reasons why I was like, I'm not sure you could do this movie again because there's a huge difference between 1967 and 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really are a fish out of water. Like, between 97 and 2020 or whatever, it's...
Yeah.
there's different things, but you won't
But
beat
if
that
you
out
do
of touch.
97 to 2027, I mean, a lot more.
I
things
feel like,
can
yeah,
happen
Austin Powers
in
is going to
5
be canceled,
years.
calling everybody baby and
Yeah.
asking everyone to shag.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, no,
he would definitely be canceled today.
He would have definitely got. Yeah, that wouldn't happen. But no, but even then, like, I don't think like I feel like it would be easier to catch on between 97 and 2027.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, things are differently, but they're also the same too.
I would take one that's from 67 to
Oh
2020.
yeah, now see that's a huge thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like but like 30 years between 97 and that, nah, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technology has made a big leap, but it's still easy to catch on.
I'm saying it's
Because we've lived during that time.
It's easy to catch on because it's like, okay, computers are faster and blah, but you still got a computer.
Yeah.
Right.
It essentially works the same.
Yeah.
Mm.
I thought while watching this, because recently the Queen of England passed away, and I was like, he went in 67, came out in 97, she was still queen. She was queen when he went in, and queen when he got out.
That stayed the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the few things that were still the same.
I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, but everything else, I mean, like there was a scene where he tried to put a CD on a record player.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And then with Dr. Evil asking for $1 million.
Oh yeah, $1 million.
I looked that up. $1 million was not the equivalent of 97. We're still talking like $5 million. I don't really think, is that really that undoable in 1967?
But he said he was gonna hold the world captive for that amount of money, and it was just like, we can pay you that money.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if he would have asked for that amount of money in 1967, that's still not a ton of money.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. I looked up the equivalent.
yeah, no.
It's like
Also,
$5 million.
That's interesting because I mean they made the movie in 97. They obviously felt that.
Yeah, but that could also just be playing on that. He's not that smart.
Well, no, I think it was a play on that he didn't understand the change of times.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to do it and it was easier. Like, why would he ask for anything lower than $1 million?
Right.
So they probably just skewed the information a bit. But it kind of plays on the fact that, it's still a difference in money due to inflation.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that even in 1967, I really feel like they'd have been like, "Here's your money."
Yeah, $1 million.
That's $1 million.
Yeah, you got to go back to like the 20.
Right. Yeah, like if it was 1920, then it's just like, ooh, okay.
Right.
$1 million.
Right.
So I mean, I just found that
in 1920, you could have like $30,000 and be rich.
Because okay, so recently I've been watching Mad Men for some unknown reason. I don't know. I don't like the show, but I want to continue watching it. So, anyways, Don Draper was making $30,000, and I'm like, well, how much is that? That was like $297,000. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
That's like, I'm like, oh, they was rolling in some dough.
Yeah.
I don't know why that house was so trashy. I don't get it. But so I just feel like, but looking up $1 million, I was like, well, that's not, what I mean? So like 30 to like 297, big difference.
Yeah.
But like 1 to 5,
yeah,
it's doable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was doable. Well, he's still saying like in the 67, it was $5 million he would be asking for.
Yeah, he was been asked for $5 million.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot, I guess, but I guess still for the world government.
For the world government, I mean, I really feel
nothing.
like China would have been like, here you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Dr. Evil, so they make a son for him, which I don't know. Some of those parts were funny. They went to the father-son.
The therapy session.
Therapy for fathers and son.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I really was trying to kill him.
I was going to take over the world when I'm gone.
He's like, no, I think I want to be a vet. An evil vet?
Oh, was that about the evil petting zoo?
The evil petting zoo. Yeah.
Wouldn't it just be a regular zoo with the doors open?
Well, no, you gotta have them closed first and let everybody in,
and
then open the
doors.
And I was thinking, like, what What's an evil petting zoo? Then it's just like you just.
Oh,
let the
one where
lion
you
loose.
a petting zoo where you can pet a lion.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
Like,
right.
it's a zoo without the cages. Like
Yeah.
okay.
Like, or here's this gorilla that you can pet.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
An evil petting zoo.
Oh man. Side note, did y'all see this video of some idiot taking his 2-year-old into an elephant enclosure?
Oh really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
think it was in California.
How he get in?
He climbed over the fence. The elephant enclosures aren't hard to get into.
No, they're not.
Oh. I
He
thought
climbed
that'd be
over the
like-
fence and then went
in a
through.
minute,
You know,
we're-
the secondary fence is big because
Yeah.
it's for the animals.
Yeah.
And so he went in there and tried to take a selfie, and then got charged at by an elephant.
Oh, did he get stepped on?
No, he escaped, but he dropped the 2-year-old, so you had to pick. Yeah, so he's in jail now. But
For child endangerment, yes.
yes.
In a minute, they're gonna have to make enclosures human proof
For the people.
for the people.
Hey, don't go
Build a fence
in this
around the
thing
people
with
and not the
wild
animals.
animals.
Yeah.
Jeez.
My goodness, really?
So anyhow, sorry, that was a side note. So it was interesting. So Austin Powers is working with his old partner's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy.
Now
Yeah.
I'm like, is that a play on Captain America?
Okay,
No.
this is before Captain America.
No, just before
yeah.
Captain America was doing the also equally disgusting and creepy thing.
Yeah, but I mean, there's always been like that in the comic book.
At
though.
least the difference between this is Austin Powers never had a relationship with Mrs. Kingsington.
Kensington. Yeah,
They were
Yeah,
really
they were
just
friends.
partners
Yeah,
and
yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
yeah.
Still.
I mean,
Because she
with,
was married.
with Captain America.
No. No.
All right.
No.
No,
I mean,
because in
okay.
the comic books, he had a relationship with both of them.
Also
Yeah.
weird. It's
It's
weird,
weird.
but it's not. He didn't have kids with Peggy.
It's
So-
weird.
That's still weird, though.
Your ex-girlfriend's niece?
See, when we say it like that, it sounds super weird because it makes it sound like she's like way younger than him, but they're the same
Right.
age now.
He was frozen for 40 years.
It's not the age difference. It's the fact that you dated her aunt.
I mean, that could happen today. Like some dude date an older woman and then
No.
turn around. Actually, it does happen.
It
today.
does
It
happen
does,
today.
and it's still no.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Just no. You,
yeah.
just
Peggy
please
was
no.
dead.
Okay, I'm glad he waited until after to make it okay.
All right, so yeah, and
Yeah,
So,
number two.
number 2,
And that was actually his name.
his name was number 2. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was so weird at the gambling table.
Yeah.
What was your name? Number 2.
Number two.
Whose name is number 2?
I like to live dangerously.
Oh, that was so dumb.
He was like, 5. Stay.
I also.
He was like, but it's a 5.
You're not going to win.
Not going to.
I also like to live dangerously.
What got me? I was like, they're playing blackjack. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's a parody because Bond is always playing poker.
Poker.
But
or
when they
baccarat or
had
something.
that scene, I instantly thought like, why does James Bond always play cards
It's his favorite pastime. That and golf.
with the villain?
Well, because I mean, Casino
Because-
Royale was all about a poker game.
The Casino Royale was all about.
Yeah, it
poker.
was.
Poker.
Even though he
It
almost
was, it
died.
was poker. I thought it
it
was
was
poker.
baccarat.
I don't know what baccarat is.
I don't know what it is.
I'm pretty sure it was baccarat. not
You-
poker.
Okay, maybe it was.
I don't
You're
know, they had,
probably
like,
right.
They had like giant gold cards. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
The cards, I thought those were just like chips,
You-
just different.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah.
I don't think they were playing poker.
I thought they were, since it was such big money, they had like different chips. So
yeah,
this is
yeah.
$5 million.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. I
Really?
think they was playing poker.
Okay. I want
They
to
were
Google.
playing poker in, at least in the Daniel Craig
Okay.
one. I'm pretty sure they were playing poker.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, look it up.
I'm
Look it
looking
up.
it up.
But anyhow, another side note: blackjack is the best game to play in a casino. If you're going to play, you have the highest odds of winning.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's an easy game to win at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that besides roulette, it's still all of it's still less than 50% though. So
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, but blackjack is easy.
Hmm.
I was still thinking like it's not a very intimidating. I figure Bond plays like golf and poker because then you're learning about your opponent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that.
And
from
picking up on
blackjack.
our tails.
Do we think Austin Powers can learn about his
He
opponent?
stayed on 5.
He said he didn't understand cards.
He did say that.
They're not his bag.
Yeah, there's not my
Like,
bag.
is that a thing they said in the 60s?
I don't think
Yeah.
it
In
was.
England? This isn't 60s England, no. You gotta remember.
Okay. To go back to our Casino Royale.
Okay.
So I was confused because I read the book and seen the movie. In the book, it is Baccarat.
Okay.
They replaced it with poker in the movie.
Because no one knows what baccarat is.
Because no one knows.
Yeah. Because when you said that, I'm like, what is that?
Sorry. My bad. I was mixing the two medium.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And that's where he meets Alada. I'm pretty sure we can't say her full name on the podcast, even though her full name is not derogatory. It just sounds
That's the whole point.
derogatory.
Make sure you're pronouncing all the letters.
Yes.
The way Austin Powers pronounced it
Yeah.
when he first met, like when he was in her room.
Yeah.
He's like, Miss Vagina.
Yeah. That remind me because on American Dad, they also did a spoof of James Bond, and the James Bond girl, the Bond girl, her name was Sex Pun because it's always a sex pun with it. So that was her literal name.
Her name. Wow.
So I think we should mention that Bond movies no longer do this,
They don't.
No.
which is a good thing. But you know,
But they
sometimes-
But I mean,
They
they
still
still
have-
do a play on their name though.
There is still a play on the name, like Christmas.
Yeah.
you
I always
mentioned
wanted-
the worst name.
I always wanted Christmas in July.
Yeah.
No, please. You mentioned the worst name. I was gonna mention. Was it Quatham Masala's? The girl's name was Strawberry Fields.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so they still do that.
They're still stupid and punny, but they're not sexual innuendos anymore.
Well, you know, sexism. Not,
Right.
not we found out as a society that it's not good.
It never was.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So that, you know, to saying about what a lot of people say, like, oh, you can't do this nowadays. And I know people like to complain about it, but it's like, it wasn't that, like, hey, it was okay to do it back then.
Right.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
We just finally came to an agreement as a society, like, hey,
is
maybe
not
we
cool.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but yeah, so the pun name. We didn't get to the a lot of the stuff I remember, I guess, is in the second one.
I think the second one is better than this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second one does have better ratings as well when it comes to viewership when you look at it online.
Okay, because
The
I was like,
ratings is
oh,
better.
Mini Me's not in this.
Yeah.
And also, whose name I can't say, but the fat.
Get in my belly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it did have my dude Will Ferrell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Okay, that scene was still funny. That scene was still funny. So, Will Ferrell is one of the people with Dr. Evil
Yeah.
in his group, and Dr. Evil has like a little button and sends people to like a fire pit or whatever. And Will Ferrell goes down there, but he didn't die.
Yeah.
So Dr. Evil is trying to talk, and it's like, oh, I'm significantly burned, and it really hurts. Can someone get me out?
Can someone call an ambulance?
And then
So-
they tell someone to shoot him, and they do, but they shoot him in the arm. It's like, you shot me.
You shot me in the arm.
I thought that was funny. I'm
Yes.
guessing Demi did not think that scene was still funny.
I did not know
Oh,
That scene was
okay.
hilarious.
That was one that I thought was.
that you thought was so funny.
Yes.
I did not find it. I think it was one of those things that went on for too long.
It did go on for too long, though. I will give you that.
And we're saying this like this movie is short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we already mentioned like 2 or 3 things that like that went on for too long.
Too long.
This movie could be an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're good. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Which one thing I was like, I guess I probably thought was funnier when I was a kid, which as an adult, I get why it's funny, but like in the beginning when he's picking up all his stuff and they have the penis pump in there. And he keeps saying it's not his, and then like he's like, here's a check signed by Austin Powers, and there's the receipt. What was funny is when they got to the book.
That's what I was going to say. Like, it wasn't funny until the book.
Yeah.
Because he was like, that's not my bag, baby.
Right.
And then he's like, one book. Swedish.
He just said larger.
Right.
And it had it
Like,
Written by Austin Powers.
This thing
Is my bag, baby.
Like, that was funny.
That
But,
was
like,
funny.
before then, I was just like, okay, you're
Right.
right. But then there's like, I completely forgot about the book thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the guy,
I forgot about the book too.
the guy delivering those lines was
Yeah.
pretty perfect.
Yeah, he did deliver them very well.
Yeah. So yeah, that part was like still funny.
Yeah. And I get the joke, you know, you keep denying it, and it's just like, here's more proof.
Yeah.
More evidence.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know, light story. His plan is to drill into the middle of the earth, and
Yes.
What-
Release hot magma everywhere or something.
I'm gonna have to say, I don't think
Magma.
a nuclear warhead would do anything.
It will cause earthquakes.
Maybe you're talking about into the core of the earth. I don't think it's gonna do anything. Like,
Wouldn't just drilling into the core of the earth cause issues?
because they were talking
that will cause that
would
earthquakes
drilling
will
down would cause earthquakes. You wouldn't even get to the core, honestly. Once you
Right.
reach the mantle, you're done.
It would blow.
Yeah,
Well,
It's too
that-
hot.
that would blow up, and that area will be kind of messed up.
But
But
I'm just thinking like you would end up causing earthquakes everywhere, which I mean could be pretty
yeah,
damaging.
I would say
yeah.
in the general area, you would cause earthquakes.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I mean like true enough. But I'm thinking like if it's a really big drill,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just the plan was.
I was
dumb.
thinking it may trigger because we don't know like what underlying tectonic plates may get triggered.
Well, I mean, even like fracking now causes
earthquakes.
earthquakes. Yeah,
right, which
so-
is exactly what I was thinking of. Like
Yeah.
that causes earthquakes, so a giant drill would definitely cause earthquakes. Which I
Yeah,
mean,
but it won't. But you both are correct. It's not going to make it to the center of the earth.
Yeah, and it's not going to melt all the cities on them.
Well, I mean, I think at some point we got to be like, okay, this is a dumb movie. And
I
let's
mean,
pretend like this is something that could
Yeah.
actually happen.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Um,
The PA announcer. I thought that was funny too.
I missed it. What was it? No,
Because like the PA,
because it wasn't the lady. on the second one?
everybody, yeah, it was the lady that was doing the countdown.
Yeah, 5.
More.
All right.
But no, the PA announcer, because it's like everything is exploding around him.
Mhm.
Everybody's getting shot, and he's still standing there in front of the mic, not moving.
Oh,
And so, like, when he hits the abort button, which he waited till it was 1 second and then yells, no, and then hits the button. It still goes off. Yeah.
There's delays and
Yeah.
whatnot.
And then it was the PA announced abort. So I just thought it was funny.
more scenes that I thought were more funny than I did now. The guy getting ran over by the steamroller.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even in
True.
out of context, I still think it's funny. But
Yeah.
in watching the movie, like,
Yeah.
I didn't laugh.
It wasn't funny. What got me was I was just like, it's like, so after they run the guy over,
They get out.
They get out. And I was just
I'm like, so you didn't
so
have
you
to.
didn't have to
No.
run over.
That's
Because as soon as they run him over, they get off the steam.
And I was just like, what? So yeah, it just makes.
I will say now with that scene, it was funnier when I first seen it because it was like it was not expected.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's just like you're watching it and everybody's jumping out of the way and he's still like, no, and then they show him in the steamroller. So it was like the first time seeing that, yes, I died because I was
I think that is. I think it's only funny the first time you see it.
yeah.
Because you don't see that coming, right?
Right,
The
you don't
guy's
see it
yelling no, even
Yeah.
though it's moving like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Just move out the way.
Yeah. So it's
And they were
like
saying move out of the way.
yeah. So it's like you were expecting it.
Yeah.
Because you already seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't laugh as hard at that as when I first
and him turning around in the hallway.
Now that was still funny. I always laugh when they cut back to the scene and he's sideways.
He just can't drive.
No. Because all he had to do was just reverse.
He was trying to turn around. But actually, when they cut back and he's sideways, it's funny because it's impossible him to get it in that position.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and when they had the lady robots, the women robots, and Dr. Evil was like, I love a woman of that caliber.
Oh.
And like everybody stared at him.
It's funny because of the guns and
the guns
of their good personality. Yes,
and then he called it a mononym.
Homonym. No, so we mentioned this, but the death trap was still funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please place them.
It's like, oh, we don't have sharks with lasers. What do we have?
Right.
Angry sea bass?
Angry sea bass.
Yeah, because they were mutated.
Mutated sea bass.
Which worked, because then that guy get his head chopped off?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, nah, that's still funny, too.
I'm not exactly sure what an angry sea bass is.
He will never
I've never seen
get ahead
angry
of
sea
his
bass.
class.
Oh, my God.
Nah, that was still funny.
A good thing he's not the head of a company.
He's a chip off the old block.
So I have a question. So she used the toothpaste and the floss thing to get out.
Are we going with realism here?
I was just like, were they like trick toothpaste and floss?
No, they were toothpaste and
I was
floss.
like, did I miss a scene with Q?
She brought
or
it because
something?
his teeth were bad.
Yeah.
And no, it was actually toothpaste and floss. And no, floss cannot hold a human body,
Okay.
let alone two.
First of all, it can barely floss your teeth.
Right, without breaking and getting stringy.
So, okay, I was like watching that, like, oh, I must have missed the scene where they gave him like.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
I
Regular
thought when she
toothpaste and
pulled
floss.
it out, I thought it was like, oh, it is actually
Yeah.
trick floss or whatever. But no.
That's what I thought, and then I was like, well, the rope is a lot thicker than normal floss, so it must be trick floss.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna let it slide. But I thought I had missed the scene.
No.
Why when they were getting out, the guy has a gun.
Yeah, just
and he
shoot 'em.
starts slowly walking around like, oh, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he gets his head eaten off by mutated sea bass.
sea bass.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And see, in the next movie is dolphins with lasers, right?
I thought he ended up getting. Was it dolphins with lasers? Or
Yeah, he
Yeah,
never
it's
got
dolphins.
the sharks with
He never got the
lasers.
He got
Yeah.
the sharks with lasers in the third one.
What, gold member?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gold member wasn't.
It go remember wasn't good.
Yeah.
So
His
did they-
sponsor.
It's without Thomas.
That was.
So then, is it by the third one? Because like the guy, what was the guy's name? The one who was the head of the company.
Number two.
Number
What?
2.
Okay, no, was it number two?
Number two is the head of Dr. Evil's company.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So number two. Because he was saying that they couldn't get the sharks with lasers because of like animal rights or
Yeah,
whatever.
animal rights. Yeah.
It's like they were an endangered species.
Yeah.
But thing is, he said it would have taken months to get through the paperwork. But I was like, he was frozen for 30 years.
Yeah. So you just didn't try.
Yeah. But yeah.
But who was sharks with lasers?
You just need sharks. Why do they also need
Hey,
lasers?
I don't.
He wants lasers, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's cool.
Yeah, but then you went with angry sea bass. Can you just have like piranhas or something?
No, I ain't received. I ain't gonna have piranhas.
Mutated.
Mutated.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sea
So
bass.
maybe the mutated sea bass was more dangerous than piranha.
Okay, maybe. I don't think I've ever heard of a sea bass eating somebody.
That's because they don't.
They don't.
Okay. They would killer whales or something. There's just so many more options.
I didn't
Regular
spend
whale?
6
Actually,
years
killer
in
whales
evil
actually, yeah,
school to be
done that.
called Mr.
Aren't they endangered too?
Yes.
Because of SeaWorld.
They're not in danger because of SeaWorld.
I'm gonna just blame SeaWorld. It's probably their fault.
Everybody's blaming SeaWorld.
But hey, you know, in the second one, if you got dolphins, I mean, really, in learning about dolphins, they are some
Dolphins are not nice animals.
buttholes.
Yeah.
They're mean to each other. They're not nice animals. They're just cute.
They purposely drown different fish and stuff, not to eat, just to.
Yeah, they take each other's girls. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool. Okay.
Mr. Still Your Dolphin.
Mr. Steal Your Dolphin.
All right. Okay, so at the end of it, Dr. Evil freezes himself again.
Yeah, to get away.
Yes, in the big boy statue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there. And Austin Powers marries Vanessa.
Yes.
Very. I found out weird. I know it's something that happens in every movie ever, where there's two people, then they must like each other because they can't be in. A man and a woman can't be in the same room unless they're gonna get married at the end of the movie.
Right.
It just doesn't seem realistic for her.
No. But you know what? It's another parody of James Bond. Like, because in this, it's like everybody's all over Austin Powers, and it's kind of like, why? It's technically the same with James Bond. Like, okay, how does... I get he's a good-looking, suave guy, but...
Okay.
But how's that every woman... It's just like he gets... Like, come on.
Didn't we talk about this when we did Catch Me If You Can?
I think so.
And I was just like, when you're a good-looking, charismatic guy, it's easier to get the girl.
Of course, it's easier. But James Bond is just like...
Because he gets all the girls?
And he's not... And he's rude with it, too. Just...
Yeah, he is rude.
Wait, which are we talking like the 1960 Bonds? Because that wouldn't fly.
Yeah, I'm saying like basically telling the girl that she will be sleeping with him.
Okay, but I think that's more of the era because, like I said, I was watching Mad Men and watching this, I was like, this is awful.
Oh, okay.
You guys suck. So I think that's a lot.
Is that why all these people want to go back to the 60s?
Please, that is not the reason you should go back to the 60s.
No, I'm saying I was saying we hear all of these complaints online.
Oh,
and
because you can tell a woman what she's doing and when she's going to do it, and so you can just drink and smoke.
So apparently, to these guys, that was the good old days.
No, it was highly inappropriate in 1960. It's highly inappropriate now.
Oh, what was it where they had it was some show and it had to be Family Guy or something, and they had like it was a 1940s women in the workplace video. Well, like how to treat women. The video was horrible. It had to be Family Guy.
Yeah, I don't want to say it probably was.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on Austin Powers? You got some movie facts?
Or some movie facts?
Movie facts. Random movie facts.
Okay, so this movie did okay in the box office. It made about $53 million or whatever.
Okay.
But it really became a hit when it was released on video. And it was actually the rentals, remember that?
Oh, Blockbuster.
That actually kind of catapulted it into its fame and kind of what got the second movie greenlit.
Don't forget to rewind your video.
Right. Be kind.
Rewind.
So this was also Will Ferrell's film debut.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we talked about how this was basically a parody of James Bond, especially of the older movies.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Evil's appearance was based off of Blofeld,
which
was the head of Spectre. Mm-hmm. Not that nonsense we got in this last movie.
Spectrum.
Very weird.
It's just Spectrum.
No, in Spectre.
Oh, right.
Spectre. In the movie Spectre.
Spectre. Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
That's how bad it was.
Yes. So yeah.
I actually remember zero about the movie Spectre.
It was bad.
It was bad. Just
very bad.
Not worth watching ever again.
A train went through something.
No.
Huh?
That was Spectre, wasn't it?
That was Skyfall.
That was Skyfall. Oh, so I really don't remember anything about Spectre. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that was Skyfall.
That was Skyfall. You're right,
Yeah.
because they attacked
Yeah.
the place. Okay.
Skyfall was a good movie.
It was a good
Skyfall
movie.
was a good movie.
Okay, so so his appearance is based off of that guy. Random Task we already talked about was a parody of the villain Aja. Interesting. That guy who played Random Task is in jail
Oh,
for a
for
lifetime.
throwing shoes at people?
No, like what he did was
It
so
cracked
messed
his
up.
neck.
Apparently, he like kidnapped and tortured some girl in like
Oh
the
my gosh.
early 90s.
Oh,
What?
wow.
In the early 90s, before he
And-
filmed the movie.
Before he filmed the movie, and they didn't catch him until like 2007 or whatever with like DNA testing.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
Yeah, and then so he got like life for that, and then he got more life for killing his cellmate or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So yeah, he's an awful person. But
Yes, I feel sorry about making the shoe throwing joke now. I thought he was gonna be in jail for like petty theft or something.
No,
I don't like.
because I was like, man, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
It's a shoe.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Wow. I always like when they give people like double life. Like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna live past the life sentence, but
Doesn't
okay.
matter. Yeah. No. Well, you know,
In
Double
case
life.
you do,
there's another life.
Yeah, there's
sentence on top of that.
there's another one.
We mentioned it before how Alada name was a parody off of some of the inappropriate Bond names. So I did write some of them
Octo.
down. Some of them are okay.
okay.
There's obviously the obvious one it was clearly taken off of,
Yes,
Yeah.
which I won't mention. But then you had like
the
Honey.
name of a James Bond movie.
It was the name of the movie.
That
Alright.
is not what the movie is about. What is wrong?
I know
with
that's
you?
not
I
what
said
the
it's the
movie
name
is
of the
about, but that's
movie.
the name of it.
That's not the name of it.
Isn't it?
No,
Yes, it
but that
is.
movie's about something
There's
else.
another
Because
movie
she-
called it.
because she's in Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then was it a movie afterward?
There isn't a movie.
Yes, there is a movie,
Oh,
but
okay.
that's not. That's different.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think that was meant to be. That's different.
Okay.
Okay. It's still the name of the movie.
All right. It was
Oh
the name
my
of the movie.
God.
though.
There's
yes.
a whole 4 letters before it. Okay.
No, well, we know that.
Right.
We just avoid saying it for all of
All intended purposes.
Whatever, y'all see
Yeah.
the movies, y'all know.
To keep
So
it-
yeah, so you have people like Plenty O'Toole, Honey Rider,
Oh, I forgot about Honey.
and
Rider.
then from we need to watch this.
Goldeneye
Xenia on a top.
on the top. Yeah.
On the top. Right.
You should kill people on the top.
Yeah. By squeezing them to death.
That doesn't make any sense, but all right.
Right. It's like that's your method of killing people.
And that was Fam Jensen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, we should watch that movie one day.
Goldfinger.
Go for.
I mean,
no, Goldeneye.
Goldeneye.
Very good movie.
Yeah, we should do that one day.
So, the Bond franchise feared that these Austin Power movies would kind of kill their film series because
Oh, come on. Okay.
because they wouldn't be taken seriously anymore because Austin Powers poked so much fun at it, which
Mhm.
is kind of one of the which in a way they were kind of right because by the time we got to Die Another Day,
Well, it seems
died.
like they decided to just make it super silly after the fact. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like they were afraid it was going to destroy the James Bond franchise, and
Yeah,
then
It's
they destroyed
you're
it
the ones
themselves.
who- you
Yeah.
destroyed it by being silly. Like okay, GoldenEye, solid movie. This
he
came
came
in
out with
90s
Die Another Day.
Right,
Mhm.
this came out in '97, so the same year the Tomorrow Never Dies, good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tomorrow Never
Turned
Dies.
out- yeah, it's fine. It was getting sillier.
It was getting silly. It's solid. The
It's a good
villain
movie.
is stupid, but the movie itself is solid, I guess.
Yeah.
But then after that, you got dumb and silly. So you're saying like Austin Powers forced you to change? You were already. I'm glad if Austin Powers woke you up, but
Yeah.
you were already screwing yourself up.
The world is not enough. It's never enough, James.
I think she's falling for you, James. That was a video game.
That was
But,
really
okay.
okay.
Good game.
Good game.
Everything or nothing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so that was my last movie fact. I do have a couple of nitpicks. I'm not gonna. I mean, this movie is silly, so I'm not gonna tear it up. But
Pick some nits. Pick
Pick some
some nits.
nits.
okay, so in 1967, I was gonna call him Doctor Strange. I'm so sorry.
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
He freezes himself and then goes out in a rocket. Could they have shot the rocket out?
I
of space?
thought that too.
Or even by the time it reached space, you still know where it is because satellites
Yeah,
and whatnot.
because it's circling the
you
earth.
you could have knocked this thing out of space at any point.
Mhm.
And then when it started to fall out of space,
Mhm.
you know where it's going to land.
They said they couldn't
So-
find it.
How
Yeah, it
could you
disappeared.
not find it?
Disappeared. I don't know.
Disappear how? NASA, you have one job, and that's to find crap falling from space.
It has a cloaking device.
Yeah,
It did not.
yeah.
We're not power. And then how could they not find it? But then his people knew where it was because they had to send him through the
Undisclosed location.
No, the thawing process.
Yeah, they had to
Oh
send him
yeah,
through the
yeah.
thawing process.
Right.
So there's no reason you didn't know where Dr. Evil landed. And you could have been up there with all your guns and whatnot. Or why weren't you following his henchmen?
Yeah.
Right? Dr.
Well,
Evil's
no, they
landing.
didn't know where their henchman was, maybe. Or they didn't know who they were. I mean, old dude was
Yeah.
the owner of a company.
Yeah, they didn't know who
None
he
of them,
was.
not even a girl. She looks like a henchman. I just feel like there was ways to do this and we didn't need Austin Powers at all.
No,
Well, I mean, obviously, the whole movie is a nitpick because there was no need for Austin Powers.
there is no need for him at all.
Okay. So when he's fighting the Lucky Charms guy in the bathroom, how did the Lucky Charms guy know what stall he was in? Was there secret compartments above every stall?
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about that. Either.
Also, why was he asking?
Who does number 2 work for? It makes no sense.
You already knew who number 2 worked for,
Yeah.
and how is he going to answer you?
Right,
Yes.
because he never let his head up. He literally drowned him.
Yes. It didn't make any sense. That was on the list.
That line was for the joke.
It was.
It was
That line was for the joke.
because it didn't make any sense. Because I'm like, you already
You
know
know
who
who-
number 2
Yeah.
worked for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those were my last nitpicks. I thought I would bring back best quote of the movie because I know you guys are just super excited to quote this movie.
Oh, do I have a best quote? I don't know. I didn't think of it. I didn't think of
It's
one.
a lot of quotes.
Yeah.
Only one.
I'm
Did
gonna
not rehash this
go
entire
with
movie.
place them on the slow moving, easy to escape mechanism.
That is a really good quote.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
That is really good.
but there's a lot, I guess, too. But unlike what you think, I'm not gonna go around quoting this movie.
You're not gonna go around. Do I make you horny, baby?
Oh God, no.
Do I?
That was so weird.
Very rude. Very rude.
But honestly, I think that would have gotten a laugh. Like she turned around and laughed a little bit. I think you would have gotten a laugh a bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
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 So that was it.
Okay. All right. So we rating Austin Powers.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna put Watch While Folding Clothes for 2022.
It's a watch my phone and clothes. Unless you've never seen it.
If you've never seen it, I pay for that.
Yes.
You should. Everyone should see Austin Powers one time.
Yeah. Yeah. I give it a watch while folding clothes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The second one is definitely better.
Yes, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Just if you guys were wondering what the name of that movie
So stupid. All right. Well, that was another throwback movie day for us. We do those every once in a while. I mean, sometimes we do serious movies like Tombstone, and sometimes it's an Austin Powers. You never know where it's going to go with us. But have you seen Austin Powers? If you haven't, what's wrong with you? Go see it. And let us know what you thought in the comments below. Also, leave a rating review wherever you're listening, and we will catch you next time.